What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie290 today coming at you live once again through the power of the internet. And I'm doing my gaming news video extra early this week because I wanted to talk about one thing and one thing only, and that is Metal Gear Survive and why you probably shouldn't play it. Now, I have to start this story off by saying I'm not a huge Metal Gear Solid fan. The reason being is because for the earlier games when stealth is actually important, I don't like stealth games, so you don't catch me playing games like Hitman or Thief or anything like that either. I did like the latest game because it was a fun physics sandbox, and Donkey gave me a good reason to want to play it, just because it seems silly to run around and goof around in. That's what I was hoping Metal Gear Survive was going to be. I guess that's not going to be the case. So as you can tell by the Metacritic scores, even the critics, 24 critics gave it a total of 64. The user score is at about a 1.7. And this is one of those games where you have to be careful of the user score because people who are big fans of Kojima are obviously going to despise this game even existing. And if you're unfamiliar with the story, Kojima, of course, is the guy who, Kojima Productions and Kojima is the people who made the Metal Gear Solid games. He was part of Konami. He eventually left Konami on bad terms. Konami decided to continue to make Metal Gear games. And people who are fans of the series or fans of Kojima are going to despise this game right out of the gate. So there's going to be plenty of people who will never play this game or are going to give it a bad user score. Critics aren't supposed to do that, though, so I think a 64 Metascore is probably fairly close to what this game deserves. Now, while I have yet to bother purchasing it myself, I probably will right after filming this to stream it on stream tonight. I've seen this game get played quite a bit, and I have to say, it looks tedious and boring and awful because it takes all of the just terrible things about the whole survival element and makes it just tedious and boring and awful. And you've got to drink and you've got to eat and you've got to sleep and you've got to do everything that you're supposed to do in one of these survival games, but without all of the fun being there. And then you add in zombies on top of that, which is so 2013. And then it's just not a particularly fun concept or fresh idea. And if you look at people like Donkey's video, they clearly illustrate that the whole sandbox aspect of the last Metal Gear game is just not there. Had they had managed to keep that, had it been all the fun, weird, stupid stuff that you could do with the physics engine and all the unique items and stuff that Snake was using, that would be great. Some of that stuff is there, the mass majority of it's not. And the best way to play the game is super cautious and super careful and super silly because it is a survival game. And overall, it's just a mess. It looks like just a mess. But if you want one final reason to boycott this game, and I may not even purchase it for streaming for this reason, it's because Angry Joe and other YouTubers quickly pointed out that you get one save slot in this game if you want to buy an additional save slot to create a second character. It's $10 for the microtransactions. Now, sure, the game is only $40 to start. That's something I would expect in a free-to-play game, not a $40 game, not a $10 game, let's be honest. That's not something that I think players are willing to accept. We're not willing to pay for extra save slots in a video game, even if it is server space. Even if it is cloud-based, I don't think we're willing to do that. So I think that alone is enough reason to just skip this game. I do want to point out something suspicious, though. When I logged into Steam, they did recommend this game to me based on its selling very well, but it looked like only 280,000 people played the beta on Steam. I don't know how many people have bought the actual game, but it looks like there's 1,189 reviews, and they are mostly positive. And that doesn't seem to reflect what the critics are saying, and it doesn't seem to reflect the user scores or the comments on the internet or the videos that YouTubers are making. I would never accuse Steam of anything, but I would say we have seen review bombing on Steam before, and I have to wonder if this is it. So, I don't know. Who knows? I will say this gives me a lot of reason to look forward to Death Stranding, specifically because it's going to allow me to jump on the Kojima bandwagon with a brand new property, and this does look like this might be the very nail inside of Metal Gear Solid, other than, of course, I guess, pachinko machines. I will leave this story by pointing out this post I saw on Reddit. Here's a screen cap from the game, and it looks like it's a little secret hidden message from the people who developed this game, and even they don't like this game, because there's a little message saying goodbye to Kojima here with KGP forever. That's Kojima Productions, and that's Bastard Yoda and Cunning Yuji, two of the designers of this game. That's either their way of saying goodbye to Kojima or saying that they wish they could join him. I think it's the latter. Now, this week's video is sponsored by the folks over at NordVPN, who keep my data safe on my phone, on my desktop, and on my tablets. And if you want to start keeping your data safe, go to nordvpn.com/BOOGIE. Now, if you're unfamiliar with VPNs, they're little server farms that allow you to connect to stuff remotely without having to show your IP, show your private information. And NordVPN does a lot more than just that. When you install Nord on your device, it allows you to encrypt your data to make sure that it's safe when it's going from your phone to the Wi-Fi at a hotel or at a restaurant or anywhere else, and of course, as it's traveling through the internet to their server farms and of course back. And the reason I use Nord on all my devices is because whenever I'm transmitting something important like my YouTube password, my Twitter password, my banking information, or anything that I don't want anybody else to get, if someone's listening in on the network, it's all encrypted. Nord is going to keep it safe. The other thing Nord is letting me do is hide my internet history, and I don't like Verizon, and I don't like my ISP at home knowing which websites I'm visiting and which ones not. And in a world without net neutrality, it's more important than ever to not let them gather that data because I don't want them slowing down the websites I visit the most. So I just hide it all through Nord. Nord also lets me hide my IP address, which is useful if you're doing stuff like peer-to-peer sharing because you don't want all of those computers to get your IP address. But I also use it when I'm online gaming because I don't want people to have my IP address because I don't want to get DDoSed as a YouTuber and a streamer. And I think that's important for anybody. And the reason I use Nord over any other VPN is simple because they are absolutely the best. They have over 1,000 servers across 61 different countries. They are fast as can be. And on top of that, they are the only VPN rated a perfect score by PCMag. So do me a favor, if you want to support me and start taking your internet security very seriously, go to nordvpn.com/BOOGIE, and that link is going to allow you to save 77% off of the 3-year plan, coming out to only $2.75 a month. All right, that's going to do it for this little emergency patch update to the channel to let you guys know to avoid this game. I was going to try to fit in a couple other stories, but it's a really slow news week. I could have waited another couple days, but I figured that's just that many more people buying this game that don't need to. And yes, I'll probably pull the trigger and install it so that I can play it on Twitch this week so you don't have to. But it looks like a miserable experience. It really does. And it takes up a lot of hard drive space for such a miserable game. But we'll see. Guys, let me know if you like this kind of thing, just these little short videos where we only cover one story. Do you want the gaming news series to cover 3 or 4 stories? Let me know in the comments section below. You know I'm always there, and I'm trying to read them, and I try to pin at least one comment and say hello and heart a few as well. So guys, as always, thanks for watching. I love you very much. I'll speak with you again soon.